Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti, your dating and relationship coach for you men to attract that woman that you deeply desire and get the confidence that you deserve for your love life. And in today's video, we are going to talk about sexual healing. And I'm joined by the lovely Michelle Alva. Hi Michelle.
Hello, thank you. Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here, especially to talk about this topic.
Yes, this is a big one and it happens often, so we're going to get into it in a little bit, but I want to introduce you because you're truly amazing at what you do. Michelle is a sex expert, she's a physical therapist, and a tantra healer. She connects the soul and heart to your sexuality, which is pretty amazing. So let's get into this video topic because I know it is really popular and it happens a lot during my coaching sessions, and a lot of men will be completely vulnerable with me and open up to past traumas and things that have happened in their lives. So can we just talk about what sexual healing is and where it comes from?
Sure. Thank you so much for opening up the space for this topic. Yeah, when we're children, and sexual trauma happens a lot. For example, if your parents were potty training you and your mom got frustrated because you wet your bed and maybe she spanked you, or for whatever reason you were shamed associated with your sexuality, it doesn't mean that you were only raped or molested. It could also just have to do with anything related to your sexual parts. And even how you, if your parents caught you masturbating, for example, with some of my clients, this happened to them where they masturbated a lot, you know, when they're young. I mean, it sticks out. It's like your child, it's there all the time and bounces around and it's fun and it feels so good. Where if your mom, let's just say that she's really religious and her sexuality is not healthy, she's going to project it on you as a child. So then you believe that there's something wrong with what you were doing, and that can be very traumatic for you, especially because it's your mom. So then when you have relationships with women, your first relationship with your mother, you may associate your own sexual parts as shameful and then project that onto your relationships. And this happens so often, and people could go years, 50-year-old men that I work with, that because we do the healing work, then they realize, oh my God, you know, this happened to me when I was in the shower, and maybe he was 7 years old or 8 years old, and the first memory associated with sexuality there is that trauma, that their mom walks in, you know, accidentally, and he's, you know, found out, and then, or they're looking at magazines. That's another one that's happened that just comes into my mind. And then they associate shame. So then it's really hard for them to have fun with their sexuality because there's this whole gray cloud of all this baggage that your parents projected on you as children. So what if your mom could have just said, you're playing with yourself. Doesn't that feel good? You know, and let me just close the door. Sorry to interrupt you. Imagine if your parents would have handled it like that. That it's just normal for an adolescent to be discovering himself. And this is where there's so much woundedness in this culture, because we associate sex with dirty, or sex is taboo. And that's why I'm so happy to be here talking about this, because this is what I feel we need to be talking about this and not just putting it under the rug, you know?
Yeah. So what are like some quick tips that we can probably give our viewers that they can start with to kind of unravel maybe either their trauma or heal themselves and be more open sexually?
Yeah, so the very first thing I would highly recommend is if you all just take some time to close your eyes and put your hands over your sexual organs and just take a deep breath in and connect with your penis, connect with your testicles, connect with your sexuality, the actual physical parts, and then ask yourself, how do I feel about my sexuality? What is my own relationship to my own body parts? And for example, if you've slept with a lot of women and then developed an STD, or if you were careless and you got someone pregnant and then she had to have an abortion, there's so many things that can happen. And if you're carrying weight of shame or guilt, or you judged yourself, I had a client who she had condoms the whole weekend, and then the very last day they ran out of condoms, and she contracted herpes 2, which herpes 2 is so common out there, and people shame, you know, like, oh my God. But in reality, a lot of people have it, they just don't know they have it. And so the body, when you shame yourself or you guilt yourself, that's not helping you to heal yourself. So part of this work is about really uncovering the veil of what you're hiding, the shame veil, and just ask yourself, is there anything I'm ashamed about? Is there anything that I feel guilty about? And that's where you can start to just get real with yourself. That's number one for healing, is what's really there. And then another one would be to just practice acceptance. It happened, and what did you learn from that? So how can you grow from that traumatic experience so that you can then change how you're looking at it, so frame it differently, where you're not looking at it as something negative, you're looking at it as something that is helping you to thrive and heal and grow. And for me, like, I had sexual trauma when I was 14 years old, and I didn't even know until I was like 37 years old that that was traumatizing for me. I had dissociated from my body. I wasn't really here. And a lot of us do that. So if you have a hard time looking into the eyes of your lover, your partner, if you have emotional unavailability, it's hard for you to express your emotions, that's a sign that there's something there that's keeping you from 100% connection with yourself. Because that connection that you have with yourself is what then enables you to have it with somebody else. So whatever challenges you're having connecting with someone else, that lets you know that there's something there that you're blocking, that you're not even aware of, maybe. Or if you just have a hard time having a healthy sexual relationship with yourself, you know, maybe you feel dirty if you're touching yourself, or maybe you do feel ashamed, and then it shows up in your relationships. And definitely you can reach out to us and just ask us questions. You can say, you know, I don't even know I have a trauma, but I feel like something there that I can't really put my finger on it. And that might be something that we can work with through this work, sexual healing work.
Yeah, and I love that you brought up those so many different topics just in what you said, you know, pregnancy, STDs, childhood, life, behaviors, what you've associated with sex, and then maybe possibly if you're touching yourself a lot and you feel shameful around it. That was such a big like umbrella of so many things. No, it was great, of so many things, because when you were talking, and it impacts me so much in my coaching sessions, because before I coached women too, but now I just focus a lot on men for the past 10 years. And, you know, it hurts my heart sometimes to see people have these things or associate with themselves with whatever we just said in this video, everything. But the feeling that they get of just the feeling of being not appreciated or not wanted is the worst feeling ever. And like, it gets me emotional, because it is not something that I would ever want anyone to go through. And I know like what it feels like as a young child, a young girl growing up with a mom. I know sometimes what it feels like to not be wanted or not feel wanted, you know, and it's a really, really hard thing, and people can allude to depression, it can allude to anxiety. And if we touched on anything that you're going through right now, I'm so happy we did this video, because I want to tell you from two women here, and I'm in this field and I see it all the time, and so does she. No matter what, you are valuable, and someone will find you and love you for who you are.
Yes.
Do not let any of this stuff hold you back from living the life and living your purpose and your dreams. And just saying that gives me goosebumps.
No matter what shape you are, what shape your wand of light goes, because sometimes they look like this, sometimes they go up, they go to the side. There's all different kinds of shapes and sizes. And I was really touched by a client who was a shaman, very spiritual man, who came, and he has herpes, and it doesn't make you a bad person. You could be the most spiritually evolved, enlightened person, and you have this, you know. So I look at it as, what gift has herpes brought me? What gift has AIDS brought me? What gift has that abortion that had to happen? What gift? And when we can look at it like that, because I do believe that there's a creator, there's this universal, whether you want to call it God, creator, nature, that is making these things happen so that we can learn something in our lives. Just like what happened to me. I wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't have that traumatic experience when I was 14 years old and hold chronic pain in my body for 14 years of my life. And there's some men that have painful testicles that you can't even touch them because they've had so much abuse and in their prostate or in their anal area because of violation when they were 3 years old. So I feel this needs to be spoken about because you're not alone. And then for them to come work with me, and then in one session they clear that pain. It seems like they sometimes they cry and they say, where were you? You know, how come nobody's told me that I can heal myself like this? So thank you so much for being
safe and open space for this. And I'm so happy that you brought up those examples, because it just shows like it can happen to anybody, any of us. It doesn't matter what walk of life we are. Don't look at it as a shameful thing. Yeah. Just look at it as growth. And know at the end of the day that you are of value, and everybody deserves to see you as value, and they will, as long as you hold yourself to that. So that's why we do these videos, because if you find yourself here, I want to be able to give you the tools, create things for you to provide yourself with. You know, just reach out to one of us. I'm going to put Michelle's links in the comment description below. I'm going to have her YouTube channel in there, and also her website, so you can get in contact with her, because I'm no sex expert. That's why I bring her along. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I invite you to comment below, as this is a safe place, and these videos will be monitored between us, me and Michelle, and we'll make sure that they're monitored so you can feel like this is a safe place for you to comment. And if you know of anybody that can be motivated and bring positivity to their life by this video, and know that there's comfort in this, please share this with them, as I would love to have them view this YouTube channel.
And I work with people over the phone. You can clear chronic pelvic pain, you can clear chronic testicular pain over the phone. So I just want you to know you're so powerful, and thank you for reminding them that you will meet someone, you will attract someone that loves you exactly as you are. It doesn't matter if you do have any type of dis-ease, because if you love yourself, you're putting out that frequency of love, and that happens automatically as a result of clearing the shame. The minute we clear that shame, clear that guilt, all that's left is love, and then it's inevitable for a goddess to, or a, you know, depending on what you want to seek, that you're going to meet that person, and that's so true. So thank you so much for reminding us.
It is, and I see it all the time.
Yeah.
So if I know I can't bring the people on this video, but I see it all the time. I see someone come to me from here, and then they go from here, and they just attract, where they have their picking at this point, and they're like, I finally found the one. All right, Michelle, thanks for being here. And if you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it, like we said, with anybody that you can that will be able to benefit from this video. And if this is your first time visiting, please take the time now to subscribe, as we are here for you. And as always, I'll see you again in the next video. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.